You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show of the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. I don't think we have new callers. So let's get started with Chris from Alabama. This is everything set up here. Beep, 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 beep. 319, so it's an intro to the game deal.
What's going on, Ryan? Chris from Alabama.
What's up?
Getting ready to watch the kickoff of this game. Just wanted to get a couple of thoughts in before it started. Sneak this phone call in about 5 minutes before. Hopefully it gets snuck in. I know you really kind of try to wait till the game going on, but I'm gonna give it an old college try anyway. This is an inferior opponent, and I hope that we don't come out and underestimate these guys, overlook this game, because I know we got Pittsburgh next week. They are at home. They're an inferior opponent, but they have been in ball games all throughout this season, so they can mess around and pull out a victory. I mean, all we got to do is go back to week 3 in Cleveland, a game that we should have won. But I just feel like that if we come out and just execute, do whatever we are supposed to do, we should win this game. Hopefully, these penalties, well, the non-penalties that should be penalties, kind of get corrected today. I don't know exactly what they might have did to maybe get, the lead to take notice of the holding on Michael Parsons, but hopefully with Jacoby Brissett playing today, a quarterback that's not really, he's kind of mobile, but not really. And he tends to hold on to the ball a lot, hold on to the ball too long to try to make stuff happen. So maybe we can get home with that pass rush today. But all in all, I think we will continue to see a emergence of Matthew Golden. I think he's going to be a big part of the game plan today. I expect him to have, if not equal the day he had last week, something similar, something close. I expect a big day from the offense in general. I mean, Cardinals defense isn't nothing to write home about, so we should have our way in the pass game, run game. Man, I want to see a complete game on both sides of the ball against an opponent that we should win against. So we'll sit back. We got about 3 minutes before kickoff. Sit back, pop my can of bowl brewski open, and hopefully sit back and watch a Green Bay Packers victory. But we shall see. So go Pack, go. I will talk to y'all at halftime.
Yeah, I would say most of that just about happened. I mean, you didn't ask for a blowout or anything. Golden didn't really take an additional step. It wasn't a dominant performance, but it wasn't really a dominant passing performance. I mean, I don't know if we cracked 200 passing yards. He was our number 2 wide receiver, number 3 receiver behind Kraft as the tight end, and then Dobbs was our top receiver. I don't know. I mean, it's our offense just in general hasn't been able to get into a rhythm, and especially on a day where we struggled to push the ball down the field. When you're doing a little bit more dink and dunk type stuff, I think you're going to see more Tucker Kraft as sort of a emerging player. If you have more of a down the field type of a game, you probably see a little bit more Golden. Not that that's all anybody does, as far as Tucker being short and Golden being deep, but it's one of those things, man. You got to dial up what the day is calling for a little bit, and I don't think Golden has taken the mantle of like a Devontae Adams in that it doesn't matter what kind of a game we're asking for, he's going to be the guy that's called upon. I think we're all kind of hoping it gets to that point. I think most of us believe it can be. I'm not saying as good as Devontae, but it can be that if you wanted it to be. But we even saw in clutch situations here, where does Love go? He wants to go to Romeo. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad about it because Romeo rewarded us. I think he came up clutch every time he was called upon, so I'm not trying to trash Romeo. I'm just saying the push for Golden is going to be tough when I think the team still sees him primarily as a deep threat that doesn't quite have full control of the playbook. And Love, as far as like his trust of players, I think Dobbs is number one, maybe Tucker is number two. I don't know who would be after that, maybe Golden. And it's not even necessarily saying anyone's doing anything wrong. It just is what it is. I mean, it's a different situation. I mean, we'd love it to be a Jamar Chase thing, but a lot of these guys go to teams where they have nothing, and they do push the ball in that direction deliberately because they feel they need to, because everybody else sucks. Well, Jordan Love doesn't think Romeo Dobbs sucks, so here we are, And again, it's not a bad thing. We just need the offense to work. I am interested in kind of going back and looking if there's any issue with separation, especially in man coverage. I'm going to be real interested to see if, could there be opportunities to start using Golden in that way? I mean, if they're in man coverage and we're just sending Golden on freaking go routes or deep post routes or whatever, I don't know that that's the best utilization because you're going to have him sent down the field where he's going to be more covered. And then the guys underneath trying to just beat the one-on-one man coverage are guys that are less capable of doing it. Like let's send Golden down the field to kind of pull back the linebackers and safeties to create space so that guys like Romeo and Tucker and, Wicks or whatever can get underneath and get open. Well, they can't exactly run away from people quite as easily. But that's also where, again, I think Christian Watson can come in and help. If you can have Watson do that and have Golden work on getting open underneath, now we got something going. Or vice versa, for that matter. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same thing every time. You can shoot Golden down the field and have Watson come shooting across the field. That dude him coming across the middle of the formation is lethal. But likewise with Golden, we didn't see it as much, even though I think Watson is capable, because they need a guy to be able to stretch the field. If you don't do that, then you've got a compressed field, and it's just harder to create space and get guys open in space when there is no space. But again, I'm still not worried about it, and he doesn't have to have some kind of a breakout thing necessarily this year. I just want him to be a really good receiver, and then at some point we need the team to get some kind of an identity, because right now it just kind of seems like a hint of this, a dash of that. Sometimes it works, and then when it doesn't work, then we'll change it and we'll do a little bit of this. And I do think a lot of it has to do with the blocking, especially the run blocking being kind of a problem. We talk about how this team doesn't have an identity. Well, I think the team kind of does have an identity. It's just not able to play to its identity. It wants to be this big, strong, physical team up front, and the guys up front, they might have gained 20 pounds per person, but that doesn't make them better. Doesn't mean they're necessarily stronger. It just means they're heavier. And so when you can't be super physically imposing up front like you'd like to be, then, you got to start trying to do some other stuff, I guess. But we shall see as time goes along what they can figure out, what they can do, how they can change some things, etc., etc. All right, I got to talk less because we got a lot of calls and whatnot.
Hey, Ryan, this is Daniel from Milwaukee.
Yo.
I just got done watching the first drive on offense, and we went for it on 4th and 2 the first time we got it. Great. Then we run on 3rd and 4, which I don't necessarily understand. I mean, even in a perfect world, it's running on 3rd and 4 is kind of crazy because it's like, what are the chances you're going to get it? Especially how Calais Campbell and, their line is crashing down on everything. So it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. Puts us in 4th and 5. And then it's like, we throw a bomb to Romeo in the end zone. I mean, yes, the safety got beat. And if it would have...
Yeah, so first of all, I kind of remember, I know there's been a lot of times where we try running it and we ended up losing a yard, which, again, anytime it doesn't work, we get mad at the coach. I think if you're determined, or if you've already determined in your mind, when you ask the question, why would you run for it on 3rd and 4th, I don't think you would unless you knew you were going for it on 4th down. And the thing is, you don't expect to lose a yard. You look at it and say, okay, we might convert. It's not impossible. But at the very least, we're going to gain yards. And then from there, I mean, if we can get ourselves in a 4th and 1, then possibly we can run the ball. If it's a 4th and 3, probably pass. 4th and 2 or less, it kind of opens up the whole playbook. That's kind of how you're envisioning it. It's kind of like that screen play from a couple weeks ago that everybody was upset about. And it's like, I don't know, man. It makes perfect sense. The only thing you can't do is have a catastrophe happen. It's like the Falcons game where, they called a play and Michael Penix, is Penix their quarterback? I don't know why I'm blanking. He scrambles around for who knows how long and then throws an intentional grounding ball out of bounds with 10 seconds left, and there's a 10-second runoff. It's like, bro, there's like pretty much anything. I think they even had timeouts, so even a sack would have been better. You just can't do that. So, then you look like an idiot, but it's like, bro, I mean, pending a catastrophe, there's nothing good there. And as far as the next play, bombing it down the field, I don't love that. Again, if we're looking at it from a coaching standpoint, the thought usually is, why did you call that play? Well, I don't know what play was called. I guarantee there were people underneath that were options. I don't know the intention of the play. I don't know if that play is intended to be a deep shot. I don't know the route progressions on these things. I don't know. Sometimes you look at it and you think it's probably a deep shot because pretty much everybody ran deep except the check down. So even if they don't throw the check down, obviously the intention was to throw deep, and so you can be upset with the intention. But I have no idea. Maybe one guy ran a deep route and a bunch of other guys are running 3, 4, 5 yards down the field, and Jordan just made a decision. So again, I don't know what exactly happened or why, and I can't jump to Jordan threw this, therefore this is exactly what was intended. I don't know what was intended. Not only that, I mean, you've got essentially 2 different calls being thrown in. There was a 4th down call where, I mean, it worked, but even Matt LaFleur said, I mean, I think they were in man coverage, and Jordan didn't identify it, and he should have checked out of it, but he didn't, and so they ended up running the wrong play of the 2. But of course, if we don't have those kinds of insights, we have no idea what the intention was, how that should have been played, how it should have been changed, or whatever. So I don't know. I generally agree with you in terms of hating that. I know that was always a big thing that I hated when it was like every single time between McCarthy and Rodgers they would do that. I don't think we do that every time, but certainly once in a while, especially with a team and a quarterback that love to push the ball down the field, you're going to see that once in a while. And I don't remember if that was the one that was, I mean, I know there was the one play to Romeo where, I mean, he's open, and that is a touchdown, and Jordan just missed him. So on that play, you can't even be mad at the play call or the decision. It was just not executed. But I don't exactly remember all the stuff, and even if I did, I don't know the full context around it.
It would have been great, but it's like, why couldn't we do that on 3rd down? Why couldn't that be something that we could have did on 3rd down?
Right.
And then,
And that does make sense on a 3rd down when you're going to go 4th. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you're in a 2nd and 3, you pull that big shot or whatever. But in this case, because there's 4 downs, they're expecting you to try to go short, and you end up going deep.
Do another type of pass or whatever on 4th. I don't know, but it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, that's just silly play calling to me. It's like, what's the point? Who knows? Well, it's 3-0, so still early in the game. We'll see. All right, man. Bye-bye.
Let's get to part 2 right away from Daniel.
Hey, so here's another thing that I'm going to just talk about real quick. It didn't really burn us too much. They only scored 3 points again, but the whole hip drop tackle thing. Micah is trying to stop the guy from going forward. The guy, Jacoby Brissett, is actively trying to go forward. The only reason why he's not going forward is because Micah is stopping him. What is Micah supposed to do in that situation? I mean, it's like, once again, I get that it's a rule now. I get that they changed the rules. Okay, cool. But it's like, NFL, what are we doing? This is football. This is not flag football. This is not powder puff football. We don't have women out there. We don't have children out there. These are grown men who get paid a bunch of money to smash into each other. Why are we sitting there whining and crying because 2, 3, 4 guys a year are either spraining their ankles, breaking their legs, something like that? This happens. It's a contact sport. It's a collision sport. I just do not understand why it's even in the game. As in, like, why we have the rule for the hip drop tackle. Why can't guys just play the game, be aggressive, and be able, and defenders be able to stop the offensive player from going forward? What is he supposed to do? The guy is incredible. Mike is incredible. He is literally one man wrecking this game right now. But once again, the refs are stopping this game from being worse than what it is. The Cardinals got gifted those points on both drives that they scored. They were gifted those points. And once again, yes, could it be my Packers bias? Of course. But I just don't understand it. It's just, at the end of the day, we're going to end up winning this game. We're the better team. It's clear and obvious. It's just the little things that are just going the Cardinals' way because the refs are allowing it. Whatever. Go back, go.
Well, yeah, and that is seemingly what they're saying with the hip drop is that there is nothing you can do. Somebody else had talked about it, and it's essentially you have to, Micah doesn't want to allow them to continue their momentum going forward. And so depending on kind of your body position or whatever, sometimes you can, if you grab a guy that's especially not really moving or he's barely moving like on a run play, you can kind of grab him, plant your feet, and pull backwards. Sometimes, though, when you're sort of chasing somebody from behind, you don't have the ability to grab them and yank backwards. They're going to pull you forward. And so you can try to grab them and drag them down, which, it's really just, I saw Lions fans trying to convince everybody that Micah Parsons is a dirty player because of a hip drop tackle. It's not really an intentional thing. It's just sort of the way that your body falls in that situation. It's how you can stop them from continuing moving forward. The other option is you continue driving through them, which pushes them forward a lot, if you can even get them down going forward. And so the NFL is basically saying, I don't give a crap. You can try to tackle them forward and allow them to get those yards. You can try to grab them in different ways to stop them or whatever, but if you do this, we will penalize you. It's a lot like a lot of the quarterback stupidity where you can basically not even touch the guy. I hate that I was mad at Quave for that very stupid play where he two-hand slapped the quarterback, but at the same time I'm looking at it like, why is this even a rule, dude? He's fine. Like, two hands touched his face mask? Oh no. Bro, he's got a whole freaking military grade face guard on. Like, what are we talking about? Literally didn't even touch his face. Hands to the face. Where? You mean hands to the face mask? And if you hit a quarterback low or if you hit a quarterback high or whatever, it's stupid. And it does kind of contribute to the whole slippery slope thing to where essentially what we're saying is if we can identify a way that people tackle that hurts people, then we need to remove it. Well, I'm guessing there's a lot of things that are causing ankles to twist and knees to bend and all kinds of stuff. For example, the kind of turf that we have, but we don't want to talk about that. It's easier for us to just throw flags at players and fine players rather than incurring cost ourselves to change things. We'd rather just generate revenue. But it is what it is, and that rule is here to stay. So you just gotta, try to coach different ways of tackling and whatnot to try to negate those kinds of things. And I don't know. I don't know what else you do. Anyways, all right, let's take our first break. We'll come back and get part 3 of Daniel from Milwaukee.
Lucas Haversick, Packers GOAT. Let's go. Packers legend. Yo, I cannot believe that he made that. We got to come out in the second half. We got to come out firing, man. Like I said, I do believe we're going to win this game. I'm not worried about that. The defense is okay. It's not the best. It's okay. It sucks that we gave up that touchdown at the end, but I think that we're going to clamp down. Jordan just got to finish some drives, man. And we got to just be smart. We cannot beat ourselves. That's really the thing. The Cardinals are not good enough to beat us. I don't think that they're going to beat us with their talent. It's going to be us beating us with silly penalties and like with Micah and the offsides. I'm not going to bash Micah no more than just saying I've seen him get an offside penalty almost every game this season. He has to calm down with that. I know he wants to fire off the ball, but you got to be smart. But yeah, we come out, we score a touchdown after half. We get a couple of stops, and we'll be in better position to win this game. So, all right, go Pack, go.
Well, I think that is a good point, too, in terms of, I mean, the Packers did almost lose that game. I think the correct way to say it is the Packers almost gave that game away. I think anybody, even you can see it in the national media, the general sense of there's something just not quite right with the Packers, which is true, and it's aggravating, and it's annoying. It also implies that the Packers are clearly a better team than the Cardinals. The fact that they won, and the general sense is the Cardinals were fighting for their lives, and the Packers look like they just rolled out of bed and were not even trying, kind of says a lot. Now, again, the question will always be, when are they going to wake up? Are they going to wake up? Are they going to start playing better than this? We're going to have to, starting next week. To be fair, it was the same thing against the Cardinals. I said the same thing after Cincinnati, right? That's the performance wasn't good enough, and it's probably not even good enough to beat the Cardinals. And so you're going to have to be better next week. Not so good that you're a Super Bowl team or a playoff team, but you're going to have to be better so that you can beat the Cardinals. It's kind of the same thing here. Okay, you stepped up and you beat the Cardinals. Based on the way Rodgers has been playing the last couple of weeks and the fact that he tends to play well with a chip on his shoulder, so I doubt there's a big drop-off coming, the way that their team generally plays, I without having looked at it yet, and we'll get there, I tend to think we're going to have to take another step to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's another road game, so, we're going to have to learn to play better on the road. For whatever reason, that's a problem, and I don't know why it would be. Seems like we make a bigger deal out of that than it needs to be, you know what I mean? Like, I understand the inconvenience of it, and maybe you're a little extra tired because of a very short plane ride, but, I don't know, dude. Anyways, so yeah, gotta take a step. Chris from Alabama.
What's going on, Ryan? Chris from Alabama, man. Halftime, man, of the ball game, and kind of frustrated, but I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna go out overboard or out on the limb or nothing like that, man. There's a lot of plays we left out on the field. I would have been a tad bit more agitated than what I am if it wasn't for Harvey booting that 61-yarder, man. That thing looked nice, man. Hey, I know he probably ain't gonna be our starting kicker for long till McManus get back, but he showed making a case. He showed making a case to try to get him a little job with somebody else though after this is over with, man. But yeah, man, we down by 7, and like I said, we leaving a lot of plays out here on the field, man. And the defense gave up a little bit, man. But I don't know, there's a couple of questionable penalties. And it just looks kind of, it doesn't look hard, but it does look hard at the same time. If that makes any sense, I don't know, man. It's just kind of irritating. It's kind of like a wound that's kind of healing up, and you keep picking at it and picking at it, and it's just irritating. I don't know. I think we're good. We're pretty good. I think we can just come out in the second half, man, and just kind of clean up some things. We left some points on the board too. We was pretty aggressive there on that first drive. That throw from Love to Dodge, that was just a tad bit overthrown. That was a touchdown all day, man. But I'm agitated, but I'm cool at the same time. Defense is getting after Jacoby Brissett. Like I said, a couple of questionable penalties. That hip toss, that hip tackle, whatever they call. I don't know about that. I'm just thinking, like, what else is he supposed to do to get him down after trying to chase him from behind? That was questionable, but, we got a whole half of football. That was a big kick by Harvick at the end of the half to bring it to a 7-point game. So, we still in good shape. We get the ball coming out of half. We go down, get us a good drive, go ahead and try to tie this ball game up, and we pretty much got a whole nother ball game. Man, I don't know, man. It just feels like it should be. This score shouldn't be like it is, man. And it seems like they're not playing bad, but they're playing bad at the same time. I don't know, man, but Man, we just made the proper adjustments, come out here and do what we got to do, man, and go on and handle our business in this second half, man. Go Pack, go, and I'll talk to y'all later, man.
Well, yeah, and I'll extend that to second half of the season. And remember, the Packers, for whatever reason, and I'm not saying it's okay because it's not, really have a hard time getting up in the first half of the season. It looked like we were going to avoid that this year after the first, couple got off to a fast start, the first couple games. But, here we are again. But that's also why, again, I say winning is the most important thing. Whether or not we're going to be ready to play playoff football when it's time to play in the playoffs, I don't know. But right now, we just got to get there. And that means we just got to win. So, hopefully, not only in the second half of this game, but in the second half of the season, we can wake up a little bit. All right, final break. We got a couple snacks calls, some AA run calls, and that'll probably about do it. We'll be right back.
All right, man. I've kind of been laying low on the calls on purpose. I just, with how disoriented the squad has looked and just goofy, I don't know. I didn't want to call and celebrate stuff and then, you have to deal with, or you have to deal with the fact that we pooped something away and lost the game or something. So I figured I should stop getting excited about stuff. But man, I don't know. Maybe the Gary sack and fumble is something that's going to turn all this nonsense. Like, could it please? We cannot be playing as goofy and as just mundane as we have been. Like, it's enough's enough. Let's go.
Yeah.
Jacobs, touchdown, tied, March.
Yeah, I mean, I know how the story ends, so I'm kind of cheating here, but yeah, it's more or less it.
Tucker, crap, cheese slices, baby. That was a fantastic play call. Golly, all right.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
I mean, is Hobbs this bad? I don't understand. I can't figure out, like, I don't feel like our secondary is that bad, but I don't know. Hobbs just isn't doing it for me right now. All right. Start of the fourth. We're tied at 20. Let's put the clamps on and get out of here. All right. Breathe deep.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on Hobbs. Not that he can't turn around or that I might not be incorrect about things or whatever, but I posted something on social media, and I quote tweeted the wrong person. The original person was talking about how stupid it was that we got rid of Jair for Hobbs, and I'm like, brother. And I posted the stats comparing, and Hobbs is significantly better. But I quote tweeted the wrong person who commented to that, who basically just said Hobbs is bad. And then I posted how, here's all Hobbs' stats to make him look good. And I'm like, it makes it look like I'm like talking about how good Hobbs is. So if you saw that post, just so you know, I wasn't really intending for that to sound like a pro Hobbs post, because I have been pretty disappointed. But, we'll see how she goes, I guess. Hopefully things get better.
Finally, somebody on the defense. Micah. Thank goodness. Jeez.
By the way, that was one of the things. You want to talk about coaching that upset me. The final drive. This is it. Game is on the line. The Arizona Cardinals are driving down to win the game. And all of a sudden, Micah's not on the field. Rashawn's not on the field. Van Ness is hurt. So our top three pass rushers are not on the field for this final drive. They pulled Micah and Rashawn, I guess, to get a breather. And I mean, I can't imagine they pulled themselves out. Maybe they did. I don't know. But that super ticked me off. They're only passing because they're out of time. And to make matters worse, if they go and hurry up, they will not be back on the field. Fortunately, Arizona was too stupid and actually kind of stopped for a minute. I think they might have taken a timeout or something. I don't know what happened. but they took their sweet time. But the worst part was, not only did we pull them, but they kind of took their time again, or they took their time. And I'm like, all right, get them back out there. Nope. Second play, they weren't out there. I'm like, this is unacceptable. And I will stand on that right now. If this is the final drive, and there's a minute and a half left, and they have to drive all the way down the field, and the clock is against them, so they're going to be passing the entire time, Micah and Rashawn do not miss a snap, period. Period. You are not allowed to come off the field. There is no tired. There is no nothing. You stay out there. So then the second play, they're not out there. And I'm just pissed at this point because they're moving down the field faster than they should be. And I'm like, we're going to piss this game away. I'm already mad. Then they pull Micah and Rashawn, and now I'm super pissed. Third play, Micah comes in, immediately gets that speed sack. And I on one hand, I felt better, and I'm like, okay, maybe that breather helped him. But at the same time, it's like, that's why you don't pull the man off the field. I don't understand that. I'm relatively gracious with the idea of we want to keep them healthy and fresh, but this is why you keep them fresh, for these moments where they cannot come off the field. I mean, I don't freaking get it.
Finally, somebody on the defense. Mike.
I think we just played that one. Aaron, about 6 o'clock. I don't know if it's over yet, but it should be pretty close.
Hey, Ryan. Aaron from Eau Claire. I didn't watch the first half, but I was keeping up with the score as I was playing around with golf with a couple of friends. And it seemed like the first half was kind of a slow, ugly half, not much scoring. And the second half seems to be pretty exciting. I'm listening on the radio now as I drive home. But this is where the Cardinals just kicked the field goal to go up 23-20. If we win, it'll be kind of an ugly win.
So I guess we're not even close to that point yet, but still, point remains.
Seems like. But at the same time, I'm more interested in having a 4-1-1 record than I am in winning in a great way. Because I think adversity is probably good to go through during the season.
Yeah, it is.
As much as I would love to just dominate every game, I also think it tests your team, when adversity hits. So I'm just going to be looking for a win here, and hopefully we get one. So that's to be determined still, but I'm optimistic that they certainly can get it done. See if they will.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a practice run for a playoff game. This is what's going to happen in the playoffs. It's going to. And the question is, are you going to fight through it and fight for 4 quarters and find a way to win the game? You can say, well, it's not going to be against a team this bad. First of all, that's not entirely true. Because we've had situations like, I believe, against the Eagles? I think it was kind of like that. Maybe, I'm pretty sure it was, where that team was basically giving the game away as well. So we weren't exactly getting their best shot. But even still, that's why I said it's a practice. It's a practice run for what's to come. Because to be honest, there are a lot of teams, and I constantly reference teams like Buffalo, that don't ever win Super Bowls. But they really don't have a hard time just dominating throughout the season. That's not necessarily the case this year, but we've seen that in the past. Dominating is a good metric for showing that, at least in the span that we're looking at, you are a dominant team. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be battle-tested enough to win when the playoffs come, because the Buffalo Bills will get there, they'll face a tough opponent, and they can't get through. The Packers have been that team, where they've steamrolled people and didn't go on to win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I'd like to be a better team. I'd like the Packers to be a dominant football team, now and yesterday and tomorrow. That would be better. But a couple practice playoff games, not the end of the world. As long as we're winning. That's the one thing that we can't compromise on.
Also, can they really be getting that many penalties? Is that really what's happening? Or is it... it's crazy how many penalties are happening in this game. I don't know what that means, but it's annoying.
Well, and that's kind of a my bad because one of the things I forgot to mention or cover was the officiating crew. This officiating crew, I believe, is known for throwing the most penalties in games. So they are the worst, most obnoxious, awful officiating crew in the NFL. You never want to have this crew. Not to say penalties can't benefit you, but I don't think anybody enjoys games with high penalties. I know it can be a little bit annoying, those crews that kind of let things fly or whatever. But I would take that any day of the week. So I don't know that that's necessarily a reflection on how bad of a team we were. There weren't a ton of blatantly terrible calls, a lot of ticky-tack bull crap. And I think it generally went both ways. I don't know, but I think that's what that was. That was an officiating crew that frickin' throws flags constantly.
Fourth down, stop! Stacking them up! I was really, really upset at the defense, too, when they forced us to call a timeout with 12 men in the field. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, deep breath.
Yep, I get it. All right, we're getting their snacks. So we got the snacks updates here. We're at 6:22. This should be about the end here.
CG! Oh, man. There's so many things I don't like about this game. Hobbs, why did we go for it on fourth down? I mean, now it's great, but jeez. Timeouts. Anyway, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. And good on Jordan for that throw, man. I didn't like the play call, but, man, he came up big. You got to give him that. All right, D. Come on now.
Yeah, it was stressful. I mean, I didn't really like it. I've said 1,000 times I'm a coward when it comes to those situations. I'm sure the analytics say go for it, but I think one of the problems I have with the analytics side as opposed to just letting coaches go against analytics sometimes is that analytics look at things in aggregate, right? It doesn't necessarily look at things given the specific situation. That is to say, for example, how inefficient our offense is looking. And so I was pretty nervous at our ability to actually convert this. I didn't love our odds by kicking a field goal because, I mean, it's not a chip shot. And then if you miss it, the game's basically over. Why do these games always start an hour sooner than I think? This game's been on for, well, I guess it did just, second quarter. I was like, wait a minute, 11:56. Yeah, I missed a whole freaking quarter of this. All right, anyways, stupid freaking Lions. But, I mean, it's either way, it doesn't feel great. I mean, you have to make the 40-some-odd yard field goal. And then I don't even remember, would we have just been tied at that point? Then you got to, that sucks. But it also sucks that, you don't convert this fourth down. You lose and you don't feel great about it. But at the end of the day, it ended up being the right call. But why don't we go ahead and end it with this one, Snacks? Go ahead.
Daddy! A W! Woo! I'm glad that's it because I was a little concerned how this was going to come off. But the transcript just reads, I love you. I guess it's better that it didn't say, Daddy, I love you, because that's a lot worse. But anywho, she's getting late. I still got to record tomorrow's podcast. We got PFF Day tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. I will talk to you then. Have a good one. Bye-bye.